Well, welcome everyone. This is officially our third Willard Neighborhood Association for the meeting for the year. And I was just mentioning, it's so beautiful outside. Hopefully soon we'll be able to meet in person outside somewhere. We'll find a local place to meet. But thank you so much for taking some time to join us today. We have quite a few updates. And there are some important initiatives that we need Willard's residents to voice their opinion on. So we'll give you an update there. And then we also have Councilmember Johnathan Hernandez joining us. He'll be calling in, but he'll be giving us some important updates that have to do with our community. So why don't we go ahead and get started. Alyssa's gonna walk us through, let's see. Did that work? Alyssa's going to walk us through how to participate during the meeting and also if you would like Spanish interpretation.
Yeah, hi everyone. So there are a couple of ways to participate. That way we don't have people, talking over each other. So if you have a question or if you want to raise your hand and have something to say during the presentation, please use the raise your hand feature, or you can type it in the chat box. And then myself and Irene will be looking through those yeah, going over any questions that you guys have. And then if you can go to the next slide. If anyone is dialing in, not using the Zoom app, please dial *9 if you would like to raise your hand. And then you will dial *6 to unmute yourself to speak during the meeting. And then we also have Spanish interpretation available. Si alguien necesita interpretación en español, por favor déjenos saber para que pueda empezar esa aplicación en Zoom. Okay, thank you. I think the next slide shows the button to, yeah. Does anyone need, alguien necesita interpretación en español en la junta de ahora? Si por favor pueden levantar la mano o escribirlo en el chat para dejarme saber. Gracias. And then I'll make an announcement later on just to ask again, but I'll be taking notes if no one needs interpretation. Yeah, thank you, Irene.
Great, thank you, Alyssa. Why don't we do a quick round of introductions? We have a small group today. So I'll just kick it off. I'm Irene Cabanas. I've lived in Santa Ana for over 20 years. This was the first actually city that my parents moved into when they immigrated from Mexico. So I'm very proud of the time I spent here. I'll kick it off to Favi.
Hi, my name is Favi. I am 29 and I've been living here for the past 20 years in Santa Ana. I'm a kindergarten teacher and that's it.
Thank you. Bianca?
Hi, my husband and I just recently moved back in January.
Welcome.
I lived in Tustin before this, but actually went to Willard and grew up on 17th and Bristol. So I came home basically when we moved back here.
Great. Teresa?
Hi, I can't believe it. I've been living here for 30 years. I worked in Santa Ana since 1971, but moved here in 1991. So I'd seen this community and a lot of changes. I remember when I first moved in, we used to have prostitutes on this corner and stuff, and a lot of drug dealing, and then the FBI came and did a program called Weed and Seed, and did control it. And anytime we have problems here, the police are very, very receptive to helping us, I found.
Thank you, Teresa. With that, Officer Alvarez.
Hi, I'm Andy Alvarez. I'm a commander here with the Santa Ana Police Department. I am currently the graveyard watch commander on Sunday, Monday, Tuesdays. I've been with the city for 20 years. and I've had a lot of experiences in the Willard neighborhood and just throughout the entire city. So I'm happy to be part of this meeting tonight.
Welcome, Commander. Raina and Evelyn.
Hi, everybody. I'm Raina.
And I'm Evelyn.
And we've been living in Santa Ana for 29 years. I work at Santiago Canyon College.
And I work for Head Start. I'm a preschool teacher.
Great, welcome.
Yeah.
Gay, are you on the line? I think she was logged in earlier.
No, I'm here. I'm sorry,
Okay.
I'm still working. I'm still on the clock at my office. My name is Gail Evos, born and raised in Santa Ana. Just to give you an idea, I'll be 60 years old next month. My father was from Santa Ana and my grandfather. We are very committed to our community. We were downtown owners of the O's Theater and West Coast Theater in downtown Santa Ana for many, many, many years, along with other local businesses in Santa Ana, so our heart is here. I recently purchased my home here in Willard about 23 years ago, a fixer-upper, and I'm thankful to this team that has decided to commit their talents and their time into making Willard a better and safer place for now my grandchildren. So thank you.
Thank you, Gay. Alyssa, I can't see on my end who else might be on the call. Can you see?
Yeah, so Councilmember Hernandez is on, and then Martha as well.
Okay.
Hi, Councilmember Hernandez.
Hi, good afternoon, Alyssa. Good to see you all. Thank you for the invitation, Irene. Good to see you, Officer Alvarez, and all the residents here in Logan. I'm in Willard, my sincerest apologies. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Welcome, Councilmember.
Thank you.
And we definitely have to give a shout out to Martha. She's the one that started this all. Martha was volunteering long before any of us started doing some of this. And she's the one that reached out, sent a blast out if any Willard residents would like to volunteer to organize. And that's how her and I connected. So Martha, welcome.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to let everyone know I worked at St. Peter Lutheran Church on 15th and Parton for about 5 years, up until about 6 months ago. But now I volunteer and I'm very happy to join all of you. And I just encourage everyone to continue reaching out through your social media and inviting people from your neighborhood to participate in the meetings. Thank you.
Yes, great idea, great point. So the purpose of our meetings, monthly meetings, is to give as many residents as possible updates, important updates that the city is working on that affect us directly, and also some events and things that we are working on as a community together. So I do encourage everyone, please, tell your neighbor to log in and join us. We will start putting together a flyer that recaps everything that we're reviewing today. But please, I do encourage you to invite your neighbors, as many people as possible, for our next meeting next month. So I'm very happy to welcome Councilmember Johnathan Ryan Hernandez. He is the council member for our ward. And I invited him here because he has joined us in previous calls, but officially we'd like for him to join us to give us a few updates of items that are concerning our neighborhood directly.
Thank you, Irene. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. I just wanted to provide an update on 2 items. One is that we recently created a school collaboration ad hoc committee. So what I'm looking to do there is advocate to have partnerships between our school district so that we can open up Willard to residents in the Willard neighborhood so that they can have access to the track, access to utilize the space there. I think that there's a lot of opportunity to explore a school partnership. We are meeting monthly. The ad hoc committee is made up of myself, Councilmember Phil Becerra, and Mayor Pro Tem David Peñalosa. And we had our first meeting recently, and we set on that agenda to focus on collaboration between our schools, exploring the digital divide, which is getting Wi-Fi to our residents at little to no cost. And we are working very closely with our Congressman Lou Correa to receive funds so that we can create a Wi-Fi program. A Wi-Fi program that would be in the hopes of why we're working with our congressman is so that we can subsidize those costs so that we can have little to no costs associated with bringing Wi-Fi access to our residents. And secondly, update that I wanted to touch on was the El Centro Encampment. We do have an agreement with them, and the agreement is that we will be providing services to the encampment. We provided toilets, substations, and hand washing stations. And there's a number of different organizations that have been successful in aiding the people there. Over the last couple of weeks, we've been able to move upwards of 15 people and get them placed into temporary housing, different shelters throughout the county. And our goal is to have everybody placed by the end of this agreement, which this agreement is a 45-day agreement. And I want to say it should be ending at the end of this month, which would be the 30th. And the encampment would be cleared by then. So it's been a lot of commitment to work with El Centro and with the individuals there to help them in a dignified and humane manner. And we recently had an event, which was on April 7th, which was an outreach event where we focused on providing different resources and ultimately getting people placed. And the event took place from noon to about 4 o'clock. We were able to have 7 people placed at the Yale shelter and at the Link shelter. So it's been rather successful. We will have another event before the end of the month, which we hope to continue to place people in temporary shelters or temporary housing facilities. And that is all. If anyone has questions, I'm here to be of service to you.
Thank you, Council Member. The encampment topic is a very big topic. It's beyond just our community of Willard, but I know many of us get asked about the latest update, so thank you for that update.
Absolutely, and it's a very complex issue and an issue that is very discomforting for a lot of residents to see people struggle so close to our backyards and struggle at the level that some of our folks that are living at these encampments are there. It's very heartbreaking, and it's a complex issue that takes having mental health professionals to address the unaddressed mental health needs that are there. It is a reentry issue that we don't have adequate reentry resources to get people placed into jobs or get them placed into housing. It is a issue of there's a number of young people there that were in the foster system. So it's a lot more complex than what we typically see. And that's why we've been very intentional about which community partners we've brought out there. And it's presented its challenges, but thankfully we have done a very good job here at the City of Santa Ana in trying to mitigate those issues best we can, while also humanely and assisting these folks and giving them the help that they need. Because if we were just to clear that encampment, potentially they could scatter to different parts all over our city, all throughout neighborhoods, rather than getting the help that they need and deserve.
Thank you. It looks like we have a few questions. So why don't we start with Gay?
Yes, first of all, I applaud the city for making these very hard decisions, because people talk and people have different views of what they want with that encampment. And I'm glad that we took the more humanitarian approach. That is awesome. That makes me feel better. With that being said, you mentioned a few types of individuals that are in encampments. Do we have the demographics in terms of how many women, how many men, how many children, or foster care? That's very interesting. And is there anything that we as Willard Neighborhood Association can do or to help, to the minimal of even providing water or toothbrushes or toothpaste or basic hygiene needs for that group of individuals?
Thank you, Gay, for such a great question. The demographics, I don't have them at the top of my hand, but I'm certain that we do have the demographics. Right now, initially when the encampment conversations arise, we were at about, I want to say anywhere upwards of 35 people. That's been significantly reduced. Like I said, over the past 2 weeks, we've successfully been able to help over 15 people. And that's not counting the event that we had on the 7th, where we were able to house 7 people. So we're getting our numbers down, and that's a good thing, because that means that those are individuals that are getting the help that they deserve. And those numbers, I can assure you, will continue to go down. We'll be working diligently to do that. And with regards to children, yes, there's a small number of young people there. There's a father who is in his mid to late 50s, and his daughter lives at that encampment as well, and she's 19. So these issues, like you mentioned, they're very complex issues, and part of why this is so delicate is because you never know what someone's going through. And if these were our loved ones, we would only hope that we had leaders who could try to do their absolute best to treat people like people at the bare minimum. That's what we're talking about. But the good thing is, Gay, there are a number of committed professionals and organizations that are there on a daily basis that are helping them with their essentials, getting them their toothbrushes, their soaps, getting them their feminine hygiene products. All of these things, there is a need that is being met by these community organizations. Wound Walk has been tremendous in helping them out. We have Orange County Protests Coalition, which is a collaborative that focuses on mutual aid. They've been assisting them with meals and things of that sort. So there is a consistent need that is being met. And if anyone would like to, or if anyone has any resources for, let's say, an organization that assists different individuals, whether it be with domestic violence services, foster care services, reentry services, we are always looking for more community partners. Trust me, having one new community partner can make a difference. You never know. But I have looked into every resource that I've known personally, but it doesn't mean that you might not have a different resource that I've not worked with in the past. And if we can always bring new people to the table to help, then that's always a win for everybody.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I just saw a great question. And it says from Zoom user, and it says, were there any military veterans who may have self-identified? If so, were they referred to the Orange County Veterans Service Office? Yes, they were. There was an individual there with Wound Walk who was a veteran, and the veteran was there to assist them in finding housing supportive services. There's a program in Santa Ana. Volunteers of America has a veterans program. And from what I've gathered, they were able to help folks that identified as veterans. And the second,
I just to add that I would love to see them also referred to the Orange County Veterans Service Office to see if they can file a claim for any potential, injuries they may have received in the military.
Absolutely, thank you so much.
Monetary compensation would assist them.
I will absolutely follow up with that. And the secondary question is the ad hoc committee that I mentioned, is it going to be temporary? Are we going to allow volunteers to join? Do you collaborate with city commissions group? The answer to your first question is if it's going to be temporary. From what I know, we have not had a specific timeline of when the committee will expire or whether it will be indefinite. So at this moment, the committee was created based off of the need and the fact that we are in a pandemic and we needed to get creative about our partnerships. Number two, are we allowing volunteers to join? At the moment, from my understanding is that it is an ad hoc committee that is made up of 3 members of the council, and I want to say 3 members of the school board. It could be 2. I'd have to double check on that. But that's what I can say at this moment for volunteers joining. And the last question is, do we collaborate with any city commissions group? At this moment, we do not.
Councilmember, on a related topic for the school collaboration, you mentioned Willard's park opening. This is an issue that we have brought up to the school board since January, asking that, you know, our park be opened. Our park's been closed for over 13 months. So there is no green space, no play area, or even a physical fitness area for Willard residents in all of that period, whereas other parks in Santa Ana have been open. They first came back and said no, that that facility must be closed because the schools are closed. They have reconsidered now, just to give everyone an update, as of last week, they are reconsidering, given that the city of Santa Ana Parks and Rec staff are the ones that manage the actual park and the field. So they have committed that they're going to work on a plan of reopening, but there is no timeline. And, you know, summer's coming up, so if we can add that to your school collaboration agenda to have our voices be heard in that. As it is, people in Willard residents are using the school campus for recreation in the parking lot, wherever they find an open space, any little space, they are using it. So let's provide them a safe space of the park and the field.
Yes, thank you, Irene. Good news is it's already on my agenda. And in our most recent meeting, I advocated for the Willard neighborhood and advocated for us to explore opening up the Willard site so that residents can use it. And what we would do on our end, if we're able to come to an agreement, I'm certain the city would be happy to cover the cost associated with maintaining it, since we already are doing that through Parks and Recreation. So it's a win-win for the community. It's a win-win for the city and the school district, because it's putting their beautiful site to use.
Great, thank you. Just one quick follow-up with that. Previously, the lights at Willard Park were on even though the park was closed. And that really provided quite a bit of safety, and it warded off any vandals or graffiti. You very rarely saw any graffiti, but over the Easter weekend, it was very disheartening to see the entrance of Willard Park, and most of the perimeter of the park was tagged. And thankfully, the city came in quickly and cleaned it up, but we feel that, or many residents feel that it's because the lights are off. So while it may take some time to open the park, could we ask or look at the possibility of at least having the lights on?
Absolutely. This is absolutely something that has been proven to reduce vandalism, is to have more well-lit spaces. I'm happy to advocate on behalf of that. If there's any way that, Irene, that perhaps you can send me an email here, I would love to send this to our Public Works Director so that we can get something going.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other questions for Councilman Hernandez?
I see that Martha has her hand raised. Martha, did you have another question?
Nope, that was it, just the one I wrote. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't see any other questions. Okay.
Well, thank you so much, Council Member, and we will definitely follow up with
Thank you so much. I'm going to include my email in the chat here. So that way, if anyone would like to follow up, or if anyone would like to schedule some time to meet, I'm happy to do that. I will include my email and my assistant's email in the chat as well.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, we have a few updates that the city is, programs that the city is running. One very positive one that we'd like to share with everyone is they are doing an annual Most Beautiful Yard Award and also the Most Beautiful Block. Alyssa, would you like to give just a quick update on how this works?
Yeah. So every year our Neighborhood Initiatives program runs the Most Beautiful Yard program, which we then give awards to homes that are selected by residents, like neighborhood leaders such as Irene, Martha, Gay. So all of you are able to nominate homes in your neighborhood that you believe that are, you know, have kept their yards, you know, nice and pristine, or that add, you know, some liveliness to your neighborhood. So yes, we are asking for nominations for at least 3 homes that you believe that, you know, could win the Most Beautiful Yard Award. So once you guys nominate those 3 and you send those over to us, we have Comlink board members and other neighborhood leaders. It's like a group that they then select one winner per neighborhood. So every neighborhood that submits will have a winner for the Most Beautiful Yard Award. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, let us know. That way we can, you know, go over any details. And yeah,
Thank you, Alyssa. I included some examples here. So, you know, Willard neighborhood is a bit different than other neighborhoods where we have, you know, many of our residents are in rental properties. So we did ask if a rental property could qualify. And so keep that in mind. If there is, I know there's some new properties that are have done a beautiful job with landscaping, like on 10th Street. So look around, and any property, whether it be a resident or a rental property, can be nominated. And here's an example of the criteria as Alyssa mentioned. And I also wanted to point out, it doesn't have to be a big giant home or, you know, wrap around parking lot or any you know, nothing extravagant. It's just, does the, you know, how beautiful is the yard? And does it, from what I see here in the examples, does it fit the style of the house? And those are some of the criteria I believe that they use. So nominations are due April 30th. So if you can, I think what we're gonna do for us is by April 20th, please send in any nominations. You can either text me or call me with the information of the house or rental property that you feel should be nominated. You can also email it, and then we will, from that list, select the top 3 that come up and then submit them to the city to be voted on. Any questions? Okay. There are 2 important surveys where Willard residents' voices need to be heard. There will be some important decisions that will be made stemming from these surveys. So we wanted to share them all with you. The first survey is it Revive or Revive Santa Ana, Alyssa? What's the?
Oh man, I've heard Revive.
Okay.
Yeah, but it could go both ways.
Revive, right, in Spanish?
Uh-huh.
So this is a survey stemming from the American Rescue Act that was just passed by the Biden administration. Different municipalities and cities receive funding. And so the city is asking for ideas on what some of these funds can be used for. And there are certain criteria and categories. For example, of course, some of the funds are going to go to COVID-19 testing and vaccination, assistance for the folks that are houseless, and some other services. But part of the resources are being earmarked for things like green spaces. And that's one thing that we really lack in our community. So as you, I did include the homepage here, and I put a red circle to let you know the section where you fill out the survey, because it is at the very bottom of the page, and I want to make sure that everybody, is able to click on it. And we do encourage everyone to fill out the survey. Please encourage your neighbors to fill out the survey. We will be canvassing with some flyers with this information, and we'll also be sharing the links on our social media pages, but please definitely fill out the survey. This is a short one that, and I think there's even a section at the very end that says, if you have other ideas on what should be funded with these resources, let us know. Okay, this is the second survey. So this survey has to do with environmental justice. And I've learned quite a bit in learning about environmental justice in our city. So about half of the areas in Santa Ana fall under a category of I don't want to say high pollution, but Alyssa, can you elaborate a little bit on what environmental justice is?
Yeah, so the environmental justice communities are areas that are like higher burden from like pollution or like, you know, low income, noise. So Willard is considered part of the environmental justice community. And we will be having a meeting for the Willard community. We will be sending out information soon. Let me give you guys a date in a bit. But yeah, it's communities burdened by pollution, noise, socioeconomic, you know, burdens. But yeah, it's really important for the city to know of any, you know, types of burdens that you guys face. We are doing the general plan update, so it's very important for you to, you know, voice your concerns at this moment.
So this survey does take a little bit longer, and it does ask you questions like, do you experience pollution on a frequent basis? There's some questions at the very end that are very important. It asks, do you feel there's enough green space in your community? Are there enough trees? So definitely answer those honestly. And once they look at the results, then as Alyssa mentioned, this will help drive some decisions that are being made as part of the general plan, which is like their guide to how resources will be used in the future. Any questions, Gay? I think, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. Okay, it's twofold. One is, these are great. These surveys are wonderful. And I think the task ahead of us is to, how do we reach the people to fill them out? So are they only accepted online? Are there going to be hard copies? When you say pass out flyers, is the thought process to attack some of these apartment buildings? Because there's more apartments and homes in the Willard area. Or is it only online?
Yeah, good question, Gay. So we are actually doing a mailer to all, you know, homes within the Willard neighborhood, those that are only in the EJ environmental justice area. So even apartment complexes, like all units will receive them. I can show you guys a map. It's on the general plan update page, but it shows which parts of Willard are considered EJ. And in regards to the survey, if someone needs like a hard copy, we have a phone number that you can call and we can mail it to you. And then if you guys can just mail it back to us, yeah, that would be great.
When's the deadline for that? And the point I'm getting at is that we're hoping to have a little community fair on June, the first Saturday in June. And I'm wondering now if we should have a table set up with internet access for the neighbors to come and fill it out then. That'd be a perfect opportunity, but I don't know if the deadline is prior to that date. Also, as you know, I can put this on the ELSO newsletter, which goes out weekly, which is in the Willard neighborhood, to address those parents that live in the ELSO community to fill it out. Because I think it's very important that we raise our hand in this. And I'm assuming there's funding for those that in greater need. And unless we raise our hand in numbers, then, you know, we don't want to miss up on the opportunity, right, for funding. I mean, so that's just my thought process.
Okay, yeah, I'll reach out to you. I'm not sure because I know the last date for environmental justice meetings is May 26th. I'm not sure, yeah, how long after that we'll be allowing surveys, but I can get back to you. And I can also forward you the information, like the flyers and the survey, like a PDF version. If you, yeah, because yeah, it'd be important if you could include it in the El Sol, you know, newsletter. That'd be very helpful.
Yes, and Gay, that's a great suggestion. That's an idea actually that Alyssa suggested, that maybe we can, you know, maybe next Saturday or come up with a couple of days that we can have a table out by Willard Park. That seems to be a nice place where everyone goes by, and either have information about these surveys, or Alyssa, are we allowed to have actual surveys there for folks to fill out? And we had at one point talked about a drop-off box.
Yeah. So if you guys want those early, definitely. Yeah, we have a survey drop-off box, the yard signs, and then we can provide you with copies of the survey.
Yeah, Alyssa. Oh, I was going to ask, just to reiterate or to confirm, you do not need to live on that strip that is identified as the EJ affected area, correct? All other residents in the neighborhood or in the city, for that matter, can participate in the survey.
Yes. Anyone can within Willard or, you know, anywhere in Santa Ana can participate for the survey. But those that are receiving the mailer for like the meeting are only those within the environmental justice communities within Willard. Yes.
And our particular meeting is May 6th, right, Alyssa?
Yeah, Thursday, May 6th.
So it will be a meeting specifically about going into more details about environmental justice, talking about the survey, and answering any questions that residents may have. Yeah, so it goes into more detail as to like the types of, you know, pollutions or exposures that, yeah, the Willard residents face based on like the California, you know, like the standards that they have. Yeah. Okay, great. Well, thank you. And we will follow up and identify some dates. If anyone would like to volunteer and join us for getting a table out and being available for folks that have questions about the survey, let us know. Again, I think we can do like maybe a weekend or two, and then maybe a week date. Okay, 2 updates here for just general Willard neighborhood updates. These are 2 issues that we've talked about in the past, and we wanted to give everyone an update. So recently we've noticed speeding on certain streets, and one of the streets is Parton, all the way up from 15th down to as far as 10th Street. So we worked with the Neighborhood Initiatives office, and they connected us with traffic engineering, and they brought out a speed meter. So we were super excited to see it. We, you know, took our kids out to take pictures with it. So that's what you see there. And we feel that it's definitely making a difference. It's surprising to see how many people still are speeding. So it's been here for 2 weeks now. We're looking to request that it be moved to another location, because some of the traffic going from the courthouse up north towards 17th Street, I believe they're maybe trying to avoid Flower and taking a shortcut. So we'll talk to engineering about possibly moving it to the other side of Parton. But if there are any other areas of concern in the Willard neighborhood that you'd like for us to submit, let me know. Please send an email or call me, and then we'll make sure to submit that. Let's see, questions. Ms. Bianca, you have a question?
I didn't get a chance to write down your number
sure.
When you had it up a little bit ago. So just at the end, can you put that up again, or?
Yes.
I don't know if I'm the only one that didn't get it, but
I'll include it in the chat here.
perfect. Just because I'm new to the meeting and would like to be more involved and help in any way that I can.
Definitely, thank you. Okay, Commander Alvarez, is there any update that you would like to give or any comments?
Can I get the those streets again on Parton? It was speeding between 15th and what?
And 10th Street. So we've noticed sometimes they blow through the stop sign that's on Washington. So they'll go, start at 15th Street, go south, sometimes not even stop at Washington, and then through 10th Street is where we've noticed the speeding.
Okay. And this is like usually like at the end of the day, end of business hours time?
It seems to not be residents. It seems to be like during community, I can't, sorry.
I got it.
I
got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I will let our traffic commander know, and I'll also let our afternoon shift know, see if they can get some visual presence out there and encourage people to slow down and stop for the signs. As far as Willard Park, the lights being out and everything right now, and you're talking about the graffiti going on. Also, since that's during my shift, night shift, I'll make sure I have our district officers add that to their patrol checks during their unencumbered time, and try to maybe shoo away any potential urban artists that might be looking to leave their mark on some walls over there at the park.
Thank you, we appreciate that.
If you guys, for everybody on, if you guys have any questions, if it's not an emergency, feel free to call the police department non-emergent line. If it is an emergency, please dial 911 right away, and we'll get some officers over to help you out.
Thank you so much. We have some questions. Bianca?
Sorry, I'm trying to keep it muted because, of course, right when I get online, that's when the dogs want to play. Officer Alvarez, I live right at 10th and Parton, and we often hear, I would say between 9 and 11 p.m., cars that will stop at the stop sign and then peel out. So I don't know what they're doing, but they take off so fast. I'm always fearful that a car is going to get hit, or God forbid a person get hit. So I know that you're going to be looking at that whole stretch of Parton, but just so you know, this particular corner seems to be, I don't know, for some reason fun to peel out of, just so you know.
Okay, no, I appreciate that. I appreciate you narrowing down those times. Is it every day of the week, or is it specific to maybe like weekends?
No, unfortunately. I mean, our bedroom overlooks that corner, so we hear it pretty regularly when we're trying to go to bed. Is the reason I know about the times, because that's when I hear them peeling out. So typically I would say closer to 10, but I wanted to give you a little bit of a bigger window just because, it happens within that window frequently. And Teresa lives right there too, so she can probably verify. If she's up, she probably hears it as well.
Okay, thank you for that info. I'll pass that along as well. Get some officers, just like I said, do some in-view patrol, and try to just deter people from doing that type of stuff over there.
Looks like Teresa has a question as well.
Actually, I just wanted to ditto exactly what Bianca said. That is all.
Can I just add one thing really quick, Irene?
Yes.
For Officer Alvarez, I used to work at 15th and Parton, so I've seen the past 5 years a lot of unfortunate events occur. But I also received a lot of complaints because the parking lot on 15th and Parton that belongs to the church, there's a high crime activity at night, and so I would encourage you know, the police department to just patrol that. We used to have a security guard, armed security guard that would patrol the area, but I believe that the church, due to COVID, may not still have them. And so the people that are used to loitering may know that there's no one on, there anymore monitoring it. So the crime may have increased since we stopped securing it.
Ma'am, when you say there's an increase in crime, is it like what kind of crime? If you know, are we talking drugs or
all of the above? There was drugs. There's like activity like prostitution that has been reported. A lot of vehicles being broken into and stolen. Mostly things just stolen out of vans. You know, if they have like tools, expensive tools, you know, they get broken into. But that is just increased over the past year.
Okay, all right, thank you very much for that. I'll we'll definitely get some officers in the area, saturate the area a little bit, and see if we could get creative with solving some of those police matters.
Thank you.
Gay, do you have a question?
No, I'm sorry. Is my hand up? I'm sorry.
Maybe
it's
from the previous.
Yeah, let me take it out. Sorry. No, I'm all good. Thank you. Thank you, officer.
Thank you. Favi, do you have a question?
Not a question, but just telling Andy, officer, that in Duran and between 17 and 15, there's a lot of speeding always at night. And there's a lot in the morning, in the afternoon and night. I see a lot of young kids just drinking and smoking around the area. And sometimes there's a lot of taggings. The city comes in, cleans it up, and then within like a week or two, it's all tagged up. And it's always, to me, it's very dangerous for me to walk to the Big Saver and buy stuff, because there's a lot of guys out there drinking and smoking. And I'm like, I don't really want to go there because it's not safe for me.
Okay, thank you for that. On Durant, you said also between like 15th and 17th, that stretch right there by the apartments.
Yeah.
Okay, familiar with that area, and I pass that info up to our gang detail as well.
Thank you.
Teresa, did you have a comment?
Yes. Actually, it is a question for Commander Alvarez. Is it at all possible to have police presence or some degree of surveillance at the alley from a civic center to Washington, that's between Parton and Van Ness? Because to prevent dumping, drug use, and graffiti. I've witnessed drug use.
Oh, you're on mute.
I'm on mute?
No, Commander Alvarez.
Oh.
Sorry about that. So you're talking about that activities going on in the alley in that area?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I can add this to the list, and we can, add this to the patrol checks for our officers in that district to do that, log some patrol checks during their unencumbered time, do some proactive patrol work in that area. So I could definitely include that to this list right here.
Thank you, Commander.
For sure.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, everyone. We talked quite a bit about Willard Park, and we are all so eager to have that open back up, and especially the field. I know myself can use some more exercise, so we're all really looking forward to that. Hopefully, Councilmember Hernandez will have some good updates for us soon. The last thing I have here is we are working on doing an activity for the youth. So we're calling it for now Dia del Nino. And it's an event, or we're calling it a resource community event, June 5th. And the thought behind this is, many students are doing distance learning. We know that some will be soon in Santa Ana will be going to summer school and fall. And they've been a year without, not being in class. So this is an initiative to get students school supplies, backpacks, and other resources. So, typically back to school time is like August, July, but we thought let's do this a little early so that parents and youth can start getting ready for that back to school time. We have lots of ideas on what we can do in this resource fair. So if you are interested in joining us, we'll likely have a meeting in this next week or so to come up with some ideas, come up with some ideas of organizations that we can reach out to. And is Favi still on the line?
Yes, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Favi, do you want to give some words? Favi will be leading this event and coordinating everything. We had some initial meetings with Favi and Evelyn and Reina. They have some excellent ideas, but we're still working on quite a few things. But do you have any other anything else to add?
I'm just talking to other organizations who can provide some activities or things for the event for the kids to have a unforgettable day on that the other Nino. For example, we talked about having a face painting and the hand, because we can't do face painting, and also the shoes, the backpacks. Right now, I'm still just talking to some organization to be able to help us out in that day. And right now, that's about it, what I have.
Great. So if anyone else would like to volunteer, the types of donations we are looking for are backpacks, school supplies, clothing, or like, shirts or sweatshirts, and supplies such as like water, snacks for the kids when they come up. Commander Alvarez, if we have the space, we'd love to invite your organization to come out, maybe with a K-9 unit or something like that. But as we identify a location and more details, we'll definitely reach out. But we're thinking of like a 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. 3-hour event where we'll give away a backpack and some supplies to the youth, and then also have a few activities for them.
If you guys keep me in the loop, I will definitely, I can definitely, coordinate something. We could bring out a K-9. We could bring out we have our wellness dog, Shadow, Black Lab, really good for these types of events. So let me know. I don't know if you guys have my email from last time, but I'll put it in the box here in the chat box. So this way you have it, and feel free to reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy to try to coordinate something to participate with this. It sounds like a great event.
Great, thank you. Let's see, Gay, do you have a comment?
Yeah, this is Gay. I think this is a great event, Irene. I'm looking forward to assisting in this event. I can't bring my team. And in case you guys don't know, I do work for AT&T, and I do serve on the Latinos of AT&T organization, nonprofit called Hacemos. And we normally do events like these. And what we do is we bring out our It Can Wait campaign, where we pass out stickers and about the importance of no text while driving. So we would be more than happy to bring out a table and a tent and give out some stickers. And I think we have some few AT&T backpacks that we have at the office. It's been closed, but I can go do an inventory, but you can count us in.
That would be great. Awesome. Bianca?
Yes, I just wanted to know when that meeting information would be shared. I have 15 years of experience in education. And so I'd love to share ideas of what I've done with kids and what works and what I've seen work and whatnot. So if I can get that Zoom link, or if someone can email that out, that would be great.
Definitely. I will reach out. We're thinking maybe this coming Saturday around 12, but I will send you the information.
Great, thank you.
Okay, that covers everything on the agenda. Thank you everyone so much for your time today and for your ideas and thoughts. And I just get so excited about how passionate everyone is about our community. And little by little, I think we're making a difference. So thank you everyone for joining us in these monthly meetings. And remember, for our next meeting is, sorry, I don't have the date in front of me, but it's the second Tuesday of the month. So our next meeting will be May 10th, Mother's Day, Mexican Mother's Day. May 10th at 7 p.m. Thank you, everyone. We will follow up and reach out follow up with more information. And you have my cell phone number here, and reach out if you have any questions. Have a great night.
Thank you,
everyone.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Have a great night.